I like my music. Anyway, man, you already know it's your boy Uncle P, CMPRadio.net, man. I want to give a huge shout out to all the fans, all the supporters, everybody that's rocking out with us, man. And listen, man, pay attention. We're moving. Today is a great day, right? Today is August 8th, 2025. 2 weeks, two weeks and a couple days before school starts. I hope all the parents are able to get their kids started school. For those that are not, we got a book bag giveaway happening tomorrow, the back to school bash, August 9th, right here at not at the station, but the DC HD Wellness Center, 151 West 5th Street. School physicals, immunizations, tons of fun, giveaways and raffles, entertainment, food, and backpack and school supplies. We also have another one taking place on the 23rd of August, 2 days before school. Book bags, school supplies, free haircuts, giveaways, resource vendors. Listen, man, it's going down. Yeah. And you know I'm here, right? Uncle P is always here. You know, I believe the only way to really help our community is not through fighting, and I get it. We fight. That's the only way anyone knows who you are. It's the only way anyone knows can respect you, right? If I have to fight you to gain your respect, then I don't need it, right? I don't need it. Stormwater Authority today is opening up their retention pond down at Memorial Park. Everybody remembers the baseball courts, the baseball fields that were down there. The baseball fields were dug up. A pond was put down. Now, this retention pond is to hold the excess stormwater that comes in. Now, understand this, right? Chester, it sits at the lowest elevation in the entire county. Chester is at the bottom. So it's like being at the bottom of a tub, right? You know, you get them little cracks or them little crevices where the water just sits there. It sits there longer than when all the other water is gone, there's still water there. So in that area, it could be considered a flood. Chester has always flooded. Right, this isn't something new. This isn't because of the Stormwater Authority, and it's not because of the Stormwater Authority that we won't continue to flood. It is where we sit in the land map. We're at the bottom, right? So when Chester was first, I say 200 years ago, when they started putting pipes in to control the stormwater, right, or control the excess water, we have the creeks, we have outlets there, but Chester's inlet is a lot bigger, right, than the outlets, because they know that the creeks can't handle a big flood of water, right? Because in their areas that get flooded. Pay attention to what I'm saying. So the inlet was made for Chester a little bit bigger, right? When Chester was first discovered, this was swamp area. Understand this. This was swamp area. Let me say that again. This was swamp area, right? The lower line closer to the river was swamp area. It was all swamp area, right? That's why the mosquitoes are bigger down here, right? You have certain parts of the city, the mosquitoes are more treacherous. You feel me? Because that's where they start. That's where they've always been. But so Chester has always flooded. We got Erie Park, right? The tragedy that happened up there, right? We will continue to deal with flooding, right? There's no way the Stormwater Authority can wipe it completely out, right? Because it's water, right? And anywhere water can go, it will go. Now, what happened is the Stormwater Authority, they did some things wrong, right? And now that they've done some things wrong, and I'm not saying anyone's wrong for going after them, right? I want people to understand what happens when we go after people, when we yell, when we fuss, when we scream, when we holler, right? It aggravates the spirit of our city, right? And then it just goes straight to the kids, and then the kids get to acting that way. But the kids are shooting people. So if you can't have a conversation as a grown adult without yelling at somebody or fussing at somebody and shout out to Jameer Caldwell, shout out to Zuleen Mayfield. I know I know what they want. So now it's time for me to ask the Stormwater Authority, the board, say something, apologize. Right? You don't have to take ownership for the event, for the flooding, because it's. I know it's not your fault. The manhole cover was up. Y'all have nothing to do with the manhole covers, right? So it was too much of an inflow of water from the other parts of the county. It comes down. Water goes down, right? Water don't go up. You showed me a place where they have a water up. They have water falls down. Sometimes shit just gets difficult. But anyway, we're at the lowest elevation, right? So if we're at the lowest elevation, we're going to have water. We're going to have flooding, and it goes where it goes. Water goes wherever it goes, right? The least resistance, right? The stormwater pipes that we have, they are aging. They're old, right? So we need new pipes, right? So the EPA gave $2.4 million for the green infrastructure upgrades, right? That was 1,600 feet of reinforced piping to handle higher water flow and over 300 new storm inlets and manholes, right? Porous panels to help water absorb into the ground instead of flooding streets, and a 14-acre retention pond. That's enough storage to hold millions of gallons of water before it spills into the neighborhoods. Now, how does the water get to the retention pond? How did the water on 9th Street get to the retention pond? Did you create a whole new situation, or are you putting old new situations in? It gets confusing sometimes, but you just need someone to explain it. And I don't know enough about it to explain it, right? I'm just sitting on the background and I'm seeing, I'm seeing my people ask for answers and no one giving answers. I got it. Stormwater Authority didn't do anything right? Let's get rid of the Stormwater Authority. The Stormwater Authority was okayed by the federal government, right? So we can't get rid of the Stormwater Authority. What I want the Stormwater Authority and the people on the board at the Stormwater Authority and the people that are up in high spots at the Stormwater Authority is to be accountable to their community and talk to us and tell us what's happening. Be transparent. Right? Issue a statement. Tell us how sorry you are for the flooding, but explain to us that it has nothing to do with what you have done. Right? There's only way you can solve things is when things happen. Right? I can only move off of what happens. I didn't know it was going to flood right there, so now we might need to do something there. Right? But we didn't know about that. Or maybe you did know about that and you just didn't pay it any mind. Or maybe it's the community's fault, and the community might need to go out there and clean up so the manhole covers are empty. I see you have men that work for the Stormwater Authority. I see you give jobs to people in our community. So that's one thing I will never knock, right? Another authority giving jobs to people in our community to get out there and work and to keep our city clean. I'm okay with that. You will never hear me say I'm not okay with that, right? What I'm not okay with is you not talking about what's happening in our community. You not talking about your part that you play, even if your part isn't big. So, that's what I want to see. Right? I would appreciate that. Today is the grand opening, and the pond, we understand that we can look at it as being a step forward. We can look at it as being new life being brought in. But if the Stormwater Authority continues to not be accountable for the things that they do in our community and the things that happen in our community, and they're not going to talk about it, we're going to continue to have this problem. So, no, I don't want nobody down there fussing and fighting. I know it's not going to happen like that. I know it's not really happening. I know it's not really fighting, but the kids don't know that. So let's try to talk. Let's try to hold our leadership accountable, right? The people that are on the board, the people that the chair of the board, please, I'm begging you, please issue a statement and talk. Open your mouth and say something. I get it. Transparency is scary. Being accountable is uncomfortable. I get that. I do. But Not when you're in a leadership position like this. All leaders should show us how to be transparent, accountable, responsible leaders in our community. That's what you should show us. So if you're not going to show that to us, then we're going to continue to ask you. And like my man Pac said, eventually the asking gets a little rough. It just is what it is. CMPRadio.net, man. I'm out of here, man. I want y'all to have a good day, man. I'm gonna go and mind my business. But I want y'all to have a great day. I want y'all to remember everything. Because that's where everything is. Peace.